देखो करीब से मिले हैं नसीब से आएगा पल ये फिर कहाँ आज अचानक तुमसे मिले हम ये तो नहीं है बेवजह पूछो जरा इस दिल से हम हैं मिले मुश्किल से कल फिर ना हो हम जो यहाँ गजब का है दिन सोचो जरा ये दीवानापन देखो जरा तुम हो अकेले हम भी अकेले मजा आ रहा है कसम से I feel love when I look into your eyes. I believe if you move out from my side, I'll be losing without you.
Friends FM, with you always. The heartbeat of Kolkata.
Of course, the heartbeat of Kolkata যেখানে চলছিল চার কাবার right here অর্থাৎ 91.9 Friends FM 9:20 হয়ে 10 seconds বলছে স্টুডিওর ঘড়ি Wednesday it is Friends Forever I am your friend Kuheli and with that Wednesday is the day of love because Love by Chance এর brand new episode and তার সঙ্গে আমাদের favorite Dil Se Man, our friend Jimmy, and as promised, he is right here. So a very, very warm welcome, Jimmy sir, to
Good
Friends
evening.
Forever.
Good evening, Kuheli. Good evening, Kolkata. And everybody tuned in, watching us. It's a Wednesday evening and it's all about love. And that's what I'm going to share about various, in fact, a story which happens on my show. But, you know, it's surprisingly a lot of closeness, warmth, and a lot of emotional connects, a lot of beautiful stories happen only in the city of joy. Right. You know, I've heard of stories people have said across in various other cities, but somehow the emotional connect works wonders in Kolkata. You know, the closeness, the warmth, the affection, the from the heart stories. So all these stories, somewhere or another, has happened over the years on Direct Dil Se. And today I'm going to share a story, as far as I remember. It was a long time ago, a girl had called up. I would say, yes, she was in college and she used to live in a complex, you know, those 6-7 story buildings. I won't call it a complex. And she was studying, I think, in first or second year. And her neighbor, who was a college professor, a lady, so it happened that whatever subjects or whatever special subjects she was doing, that lady also was a professor. Now, this girl, on and off, every evening or at least thrice a week, used to go to her to, you know, take some advice, take a little bit of coaching, a little bit of studying, which used to happen. Over the period of time, suddenly the professor's son, who was outside the city, came for his holidays. It was, I think, summer holiday, 2 or 3 months, I think 2 months holidays there. And, you know, in the process, she used to go thrice a week or 4 times a week, and she took a liking for him. But she couldn't express, she couldn't speak, she couldn't say anything, and she didn't know what to do. So she gave a call on the station, and she narrated this entire story and said, Jimmy, what can I do? What should I do? The best part of the show was that she didn't have the guy's mobile number. But she had the house telephone, you know, the house line she had. So I told her, I said, okay, you give me the house line.
Okay.
I will dial out. So she said, but what will I do? I said, you stay online. And I think the best way, you're not going to be facing him. Why don't you express yourself when he comes online if you get him online? So she said, fine. I played a song, took down the number, landline number, and I gave a call. When I gave a call, the mother picked up.
Okay.
So I asked the mother very politely, can I speak to so-and-so? The mother said, who is this? I said, I am Jimmy. I'm calling from a radio station, you know, and this is my show. I'd just like to talk to him. So she said, okay, very cool. And he came online. He said, hello. So I said, hi, I'm Jimmy and I'm calling from ... So he said, yes, so how can I help you? I said, I need you to hold the line. I need you to stay online. But he said, for what?
Okay.
I said, Dekho, this is a radio show. And
Hmm.
sometimes we do have surprises. So are you willing to, wait to be ready for a surprise?
Mm-hmm.
So suddenly he gave about 5 second thought. He said, okay, why not? So I said, stay online. So the song finished and I took him on air. I said, hi. So he said, hi. I said, you're live right now, on the station. And this is Jimmy. As I told you before, the show is Direct Dil Se. And it's all about warmth, closeness, and beautiful messages. But I've got a surprise for you. He said, what is a surprise? I said, I've got someone online. So he said, who? I said, I wouldn't like to give the name, but I want that person to come along because the person is actually online right now. I want the person to come and I want the person to express. So he said, who's it? I said, hear the voice and see what happens. So eventually she came online. She didn't give the name. She said, listen, I'm your neighbor. So he said, who? He said, I'll tell you later. But let me tell you that I've seen you a couple of times. I know you're down for holidays. In
Yeah.
fact, I've seen you more than a couple of times. And
Right.
I've got a very, she didn't say I'm falling in love with you, but she's saying, I really like you. Can we
Right.
be friends? So he said, I mean, I need to know who I'm talking to. And then she said, you actually know me reasonably well and you also see me nearly every week for, a couple of days.
Right.
So he was trying to guess. Now he was 2 months in the city and the only girl he was seeing for a couple of days in the week regularly coming to his house was her.
Yeah.
So he caught on. So he said, by the way, are you so and so? She kept quiet for about 2 minutes, not 2 minutes,
Oh.
2 or 4 seconds. And she said, yes. So then he said, "Okay, I'm really happy that you've spoken your heart out. So let's not talk online. Let's not talk over radio. But since you've expressed yourself, now when you come and meet, you do your studies. But then we can meet in the complex. We can go
Oh.
out for a cup of coffee, and we could talk."
Right.
And best part of the show was that 4 weeks later,
Right.
4 or 5 weeks later, when he had left the city, going back
Yes.
wherever, she gave me a call.
Hmm.
And she told me that they are very thick and strong in terms of friendship. They are kind of going around. The friendship is developing. And guess what? The same girl phoned me up also 5 years later to tell
5 years?
me that she was engaged to get married to the same guy. So you see, small little thoughts, small little connections, small little moments can
Right.
develop into such beautiful moments for individuals. And here I realize that people need to express themselves.
Absolutely.
If they keep it inside their heart and they don't express, who knows? If she hadn't said anything, the guy would have left, gone back, nothing would have happened, nothing would have worked. I mean, nothing would have happened. She expressed, maybe it could have worked, could not have worked, but it worked. So I always
Right.
tell people you have something in your heart, could be anything, not necessarily falling in love. But you want to tell someone something, you want to express a thought, you have an idea and you want to speak it out, but you're too tense, speak it out because it helps, and who knows, it could work wonders. So that
Indeed.
was that story which happened quite a few years back, quite a few years back. So I thought I must share it. He just see that expressions helps to connect, and connections sometimes become relationships, and relationships become lifetime stories also.
So, but then again, as you asked, again, with all the answers, here comes a question from me because that is again something cooking in my head. Should I go ahead with that?
Sure, please.
So, sir, of course, as you rightly mentioned, we should express, we should, go about it, we should speak. So, but then, there is one thing that how do we know that, we should really go about it? How do we really
See, at the
know?
end of the day,
Yeah.
it's your choice. You express yourself and you get a result plus or minus. At least you know where you stand.
Okay.
If you don't
Right.
express yourself, you don't get a plus, you don't get a minus, and you'll still carrying on thinking in your entire life, would it have worked? I should have said it, I shouldn't have said it,
Right.
what? So
Right.
it's
Right.
better to express yourself and get the results. Doesn't matter if the results don't work, but at least you're very
Yes.
clear in terms of where you stand, where you are, and what's happening in your life.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you so very much, Jimmy sir,
You're
with such a
welcome.
beautiful story. And of course, those words, whatever you shared, is something truly amazing. Thank you, sir.
Take care. Thank you so much. Yeah. Take care. Good
Thank
night,
you.
everybody in the city of joy. and have a beautiful week. And remember, spread all the warmth, happiness, and just stay hooked to 91.9 Friends FM, the heartbeat of Kolkata.
Absolutely. And of course, Jimmy Sir is again going to come on direct, they'll say on Friday at 9 p.m.
Absolutely. Join me from 9 to 1, absolutely live, speaking heart to heart. And who knows what stories could be made, what stories could be shared, and how lives could change. Thank you so much once again, Kuheli. Take
Thank
care.
you so much,
Good
sir.
night.
Good night, sir. Bye bye. With that, of course, I will get back to music because we have Friends FM originals right here.
Friends FM Originals.
All right, of course, Wednesday it is 9:29. Yes, of course, 9:29 বলে কথা কথাবার্তা সব মিলিয়ে মিশিয়ে চলছে যারা যারা এখানে দেখছো থ্যাংক ইউ সো মাচ মুর্শিদ আহমদ কুরেশি থ্যাংক ইউ ফর জয়নিং ইন অফকোর্স ওয়েনসডে মানে লাভ বাই চান্সের ব্র্যান্ড নিউ একটি এপিসোড যেই ব্র্যান্ড নিউ এপিসোড তোমরা শুনতে পেয়ে যাবে আমাদের অফিসিয়াল পডকাস্ট ইউটিউব চ্যানেলে @919 Friends FM podcast YouTube channel and you guys get us right there. With that, I'll take your leave because আগামীকাল আবার 9টার সময় দেখা হবে ঠিক যেরকম জিমি স্যার বললেন that if there is anything that is going on in your heart you should perhaps express it maybe to your parents, maybe to your siblings, maybe to that special one in your life. With that, I'll take your leave. See you again tomorrow at 9 p.m. So toodles, tas vidania.